to this stream of consciousness. So today I was contemplating on a lot of things. I was contemplating on whether I wanted to do something athletic for the channel, whether I just wanted to work out for myself. I decided I just wanted to work out for myself and that not everything has to be documented. But I did have a great time. I had a great walk, but it was an indoor walk, and I really wanted to be outside in nature. I wanted to really be able to hone in on that authenticity that I have when I'm in nature. And I just felt really comfortable, really confident, put on a little bit of makeup, but not very much. And I really just wanted to talk a little bit about what it is to be happy and how to attain that happiness. Now, it's a simple answer, but it's not a simple thing to do, right? Happiness comes from within. It is an emotion, it is a feeling, it is an action. If you tend to think of everything in terms of verbs, then you realize that a lot of things are actionable. Not so much reactional, but things are actionable. Everything that we do is a choice, and that's something that we want to remember so that way we can understand that it is possible to have our own sphere of control inside our own world. It is absolutely possible to do this. It is absolutely possible to find ways to be happy, of finding ways to be generous and to give of yourself so that way you can give others what you would so badly want to be given to yourself from another person. When you treat others with respect, it's another way to get yourself towards happiness because other people will then learn to treat you with respect. But the first job you have to do is learn how to treat yourself with respect. So I knew coming outside, coming out here, I knew that coming outside was going to make me feel better. I knew that it was going to rejuvenate me. I knew that it was going to help me be my most authentic self. And not even so much because I love being outside, but I just love the smell of fresh air. I love being in a different environment than just being inside. And I'm happy for that. Being outside brings me happiness. And it's something that's so simple because happiness, again, it can be found inside of yourself at all times. You don't need external things in order to make you feel happy, although they do help. Being outside in nature reminds me so much of what it was like to be a child, of how often we were outside, and for at least for my day and age, we were allowed to be outside and left outside, playing on our bikes, doing fun stuff. And now everything has changed, everything's become a little bit more digitalized, and there's nothing wrong with that in any capacity. It's just that we have to find ways that we can connect to our past, so that way we can make new memories for the future. And making new memories for the future, you want them to be from a state of happiness, and that is a state that you have already inside of yourself. You have all of the different states inside of yourself at this very moment, and it's the one that you choose to unlock and to unpack. That's what you're going to become. I do a lot of talk on the gene keys and about our shadows, our gifts, and our cities, and it is so true. Each thing leads to the next if you so allow it to. And our shadow will find things that are hard to deal with, hard to struggle with. But oftentimes these things are very much overcomeable once we learn how to overcome them. And understanding that we have all of these feelings, all these emotions, all these choices already inside of us that we can decide to do. I don't believe that everything that we do is 100% predetermined. I do think that a lot of it depends on what we're willing to do as far as actions go, and what we're willing to do based on what our design is, what we're meant to do. And that's why I love human design so much, just because it really gave me a template and really showed me what I'm supposed to do with my life, how I'm supposed to do it. And now it's just refining the process and getting a process that I fully am on board with and in with. But I really feel as though I've been able to live my authentic self a little bit more by learning more about the gene keys, learning more about human design, about learning more about myself. Every day I learn something new about myself, something that I didn't expect, something that was interesting to me. And that's something that you can do when you decide to take a bout of, not isolation so much, but when you are isolating a little bit, you're wanting to contemplate your life, contemplate yourself a little bit more. And when you have that opportunity to do that, then what that means is you have the opportunity to get closer to happiness. Being able to search within yourself and then finding that happiness within yourself. Finding it. Not based off of a memory, not based off of anything, but just finding that happiness within yourself. And that comes with self-value and self-worth and self-respect. And all of these things are things that I didn't have at one point in time. At one point in time, I really didn't have any self-respect. It resembled a pile of shit. I was not someone that could speak easily. I was not someone that was confident. I was not someone that thought I was worth a lot. I thought I was worth nothing, and so I treated my body that way, I treated myself that way, and it led to a pattern of behavior of me not treating myself appropriately, of me not treating myself with the respect that I ultimately deserved. And so what was I getting back? Well, I was getting back negative relationships. I was getting back hardships. I was getting back a whole bunch of difficulties simply because I wasn't seeing myself for the gift that I actually am. And that's how I want everyone to feel. I want everyone to feel as though they are a gift and that they have a gift to present to the world and that they have every opportunity to do so. It all just depends on our choices. I could have chosen not to do this live stream and not to try to help others reach their place of happiness and reach their place of fulfillment, right? Oftentimes we're so focused on trying to fill up that empty void inside of us that some of us have, and we don't even know that we already have everything already inside of us. We do. We have everything that we need already inside of us. All it takes sometimes is a little bit of stimulus, a little bit of stimuli. Sometimes it takes a little bit of just contemplation and thinking, and really challenging the way that you see yourself and challenging the way that you see the world. Changing your perspective, changing your position, leaving your heart and mind open to learn more and to experience more and to really get into that happiness. When you learn more about yourself, when you learn more about how to control your moods and your emotions, when you learn more about what is causing these wavelengths to go to move the way that they're moving inside of your body, when you start to understand that everything is a part of everything else, then you really truly start to come to happiness. You start to come to a version of it. There's so many different versions of happiness, but what I want for you is the authentic form of happiness, much like I have been able to discover. I've discovered that I really truly love myself, and that's something that I wasn't able to say several years ago. I was very much a person that was stuck on the typical cycles of human life, right? I was stuck on the drama. I was stuck on all the typical things that everyone gets stuck on sometimes. I read copious amounts of celebrity magazines. I was not informed very well into who I was, into what I was wanting to be. I wasted a lot of time. I wasn't using my potential to its greatest gift or talent. And these are not things I regret. These are things that were in my shadow frequencies. These are things that I needed to go through to overcome, to have that journey. And everyone's going to have that journey. Everyone's going to have choices that they have to make in order to be the best people that they want to be. And that's the thing, it's what do you want? Ultimately, what you want can be something that you can attain and achieve. It's just a matter of taking the actions to do so. Are you willing to take those actions? Are you willing to try to change things in order to live a happier life? And again, this isn't so much about things changing inside of you as much as it is changing your perspective, changing the way that you see your feelings and your emotions, seeing it all as an opportunity to be better, or just the more authentic version of yourself. It's okay to have bad days. It's okay to not have the perfect life all the time. None of us have a perfect life. There is a city of perfection, but perfection is not something that I'm striving for to attain, nor do I think anybody else should strive to attain, because perfection is something that is completely different to everyone. Everyone has their own idea of perfection. Everyone has their own idea of what is perfect. And that's the thing, to some people something might be perfect, to other people it may not be. It's all subjective. And when we learn that things are very subjective, we start to learn that we don't have to worry so much about what people think about us. It's very liberating. It's very freeing that we don't have to worry about what other people think about us. We don't have to worry with self-doubt. And some of this just comes with age. Some of this just comes with maturity. I remember being younger and feeling as though like the world was on my shoulders, but not because of anything I was doing, but just because it felt like everybody was always looking at me or everybody was always paying attention to me. When in truth, everyone has that experience. Everyone has that experience of feeling as though like a magnifying glass is on them, of feeling as though, they have that searchlight, that spotlight on them. Everyone has that feeling. Do they have it often? I don't know. Not as often as you would think, though, but pretty often, right? We're living our lives. We have our cell phones now in order to distract us, in order to keep us distracted, in order to keep us from talking to other people. Now, that might not have been the intention, but that is what happened. We became less communicative in person. We became more communicative away from each other. And that's not always the best way that we're supposed to experience each other. But that state of happiness that you're searching for, you don't need another person for that. You have yourself. And that's the biggest thing that I want you to take away from this, is that whenever you're saying that you think someone can take away your happiness, they can't. It's your happiness, it's your choice, so don't let anyone take it away from you. Be well.